Good morning, folks. This is Corey Babka from the Marks Group. Just kind of touching in here, starting our Google Hangout for what's new with GoldMine. It's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. The weather's getting colder, things like that. It's that time of year, I guess. So anyway, without further ado, I know that this is actually the way that we run a Hangout. It's not as interactive as it used to be. We're trying to improve on that situation. We've got a few people signed up today. Hopefully you're watching and you've joined in. Essentially what you've got here is it's about a 10-second delay on the YouTube side is what it is. Like, I'm doing this live through Google. It records and streams through the YouTube side, which you should be watching right now. But the questions and answer, the Q&A, actually comes right to me. So if you do want to ask me any questions, anything like that, anything that you want me to touch on that I might be missing, please use the Q&A section, the chat room, to be able to give me that information and kind of go from there. Okay. So what we're looking at this morning is we do this a lot for what's new with GoldMine is what we kind of call this webinar. Truthfully, a lot of time what I spend on this is at the mobile edition of GoldMine, just because that is where most people want me to go. And truth be told, that's actually the most advancements that have been made in the last few months of GoldMine. See, right now, if I look at it here, I'm running right now 2015.1. Okay, 2015.1 is the latest from the summer. Next month in November, we're expecting to see 2015.2, which will have a couple more things on it. There's been a couple webinars here and there that kind of shows what's coming. It seems to be a lot more of compatibility with Windows 10. Office 2016 is coming, as well as for the mobile editions being able to work on iOS 9. There's been recent talk of about a few users of mine that they can't use their latest iPhone on the mobile edition because we have some issues and it doesn't do anything. But again, coming soon, very, very soon, is that that next release that will work with iOS 9, which all the iPhones and iPads are pushing to you at this point. So a little bit of delay on that one. Apologies for that. Can't really be helped. It's one of those things that, like when Microsoft releases Office 2016, it's not like anyone gets a beta 6 months in advance so we can develop for it. We're kind of, developers are always kind of stuck in a scramble when it's released. So that's what they're doing right now. So I'm looking at 2015.1, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, seeing that I've got some new names signed up for this one, I'm going to go over what has actually come out over the last few versions. One of the big ones was the Constant Contact campaign area, and that itself is an integration with Constant Contact. It's more of a one-way integration, kind of down from Constant Contact, where I can get my reports from Constant Contact. If you're using the system, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What it does is it gives you the ability to see your campaigns, the number of sent emails, bounces. It's pretty much the reporting that you have in Constant Contact. The main difference here, though, is that what we do have is we can actually click this download activity, and what it does is it actually throws the items, the actual specific, who it was sent to, who bounced, who opened it, who clicked, into the history. So it actually shows up in the history tab of a record, and it would show up in here with a Constant Contact row, and that's what you end up having. Is not only do you get your base level reporting, but you actually would get the information drilled into GoldMine. And from there, I mean, truthfully, we could go to the account area, and we could say who in the past 7 days opened up that email. We could filter by that, and you can actually be a little bit more targeted through GoldMine into the Constant Contact report. So it actually works out pretty nice. It's not a bad way of doing things. The downside for me is there's no way to upload email addresses from GoldMine into Constant Contact. It's not a two-way street, unfortunately, and that's kind of concerning for me, is what it is, right? So that's what I don't like about it. It's your upload of the email addresses is the same as what you had before. I wish it was a little bit more bi-directional, but it's not. So that's where we are. There has been some talk coming soon. I'm actually looking into this a little bit more. Other things that are coming down the road, things like Google Apps integration with GoldMine, that's coming, as well as I see rumblings from the GoldMine people about a QuickBooks integration. Stay tuned for that because I'd be really curious to see how that works, but I'm not so sure where it is in their roadmap. They keep discussing it, and I don't know if they just mean like with the GM Plus View integration, you know, over here or whatever it is, but I think that there is some sort of integration coming. Okay, so that being said, the other piece that actually comes into play here is we have this configure what's called GoldMine Connect. Okay, and what is GoldMine Connect? GoldMine Connect is the mobile edition of GoldMine for either, I'm going to talk about two different pieces here. One is called GoldMine Web, and the other is called GoldMine Mobile. Okay, they're both driven through the GoldMine Connect installer, which is this configuration piece right here. GoldMine Mobile, what you just need to understand is that GoldMine Mobile is for iPhones, Androids, smartphones, right? GoldMine Web is for iPad, Android tablet, laptop, PC, whatever you want to have with it. But GoldMine Web is a larger screen, GoldMine Mobile is a smaller screen, and all they are actually browser interfaces that work with your GoldMine server that throw out they serve up these web pages is what they do. They serve up these web pages of your GoldMine data into the web, so therefore you can see it on a browser, on your phone, or your iPad/tablet, okay, or laptop. A lot of people actually use it on a laptop because it's easier than going to like a remote desktop when you're on the road, you know, terminal server, if there's VPN installed in there that you have to go through as well to tunnel in. It's a little bit better to do it this way, okay? So what I did want to show you was that, I mean, the GoldMine Mobile you have to actually assign users to. Like here I have 3 users assigned, but GoldMine Mobile is actually free for every user. So if you have 5 users, like I do here, I have 5 users of 9.4, that's the new license type, I would have the ability to have 5 people on GoldMine Web, which looks like this. This is your sign-in page. And what we basically get, I'm going to log in as master. I'm logged in over here as CBABCA, but I'm going to log in over here as master because it will boot me out if I decide to do something within GoldMine and log in as CBABCA here, right? So I'm going to say sign in. And what I essentially will get right away is my list of contacts, okay? All of them. I mean, it's you know, I've got more pages than I know what to do with because I've got 1,600 records, okay? But what I can do is I can search. So what I'm going to do is this. Excuse me. I'm going to search for Chuck. I've got a couple Chucks. Now you notice that there's duplicates and all that. That I always have to point out, that's my fault, not your fault, not the system's fault. That's actually because of I need to run a dedupe on my machine to clean up these duplicates. Essentially, it's because of something that happened with my companion link a few years back. And this is my demo database, so that's why it's this way. However, if I look at this here, I've got Chuck. He's actually in there twice because one's a personal record and one's a company record. Just happens to be that I knew Chuck before he joined this company. So if I look here at Chuck and I click on this record, this is my information. I've got last information, his email address, phone numbers, all this kind of stuff here. Here's my fields tab. I have additional contacts. I have details, right? I have opportunities where I can add. I have notes that I can add. I have pending. And I have history, okay? Now, Chuck's a really kind of a bad record here, so I'm going to go here instead to Chuck Mariani, okay? Now, Chuck, I'm going to have more. I don't have any pending, but I do have all of my emails, okay? There's certain things there. There's a lot of emails there back and forth between my Outlook, right? And I can do this. I'm actually going to go to somebody here that actually I know has other things like history with different calls and all that kind of stuff. So here's Chris. I've got, see, there we go. So I've got appointments, little calendar events, right? These are pending, okay? And you notice I have a checkbox. I can actually complete them from here. I can do this, complete it, and I can say okay, right? I can also go down here. I can scroll down a little bit and you'll see there's my next action, a little to-do pin. I have a call, I have an email. If I click on these, I can actually see the bodies of the emails, right? It's not rich text format, but it is there, right? And so we have all these pieces here. Here's my action item. There's the opportunity with multiple tasks because there's an opportunity and that's what it is, right? So it shows up in there, right? I also have my notes if I want to add a note. Here's old notes. I can also do this and say add and say testing. Okay. And then I can also see my opportunities. Okay, my opportunities just actually look like this. Here's an open opportunity. It's got some information here. I can change the stage if I want. I can edit it. And I can change the stage if I want to change this to 50% and say OK. All right. Now the probability, I'm going to actually change to 80% and say OK. Now by doing that, here's opportunity with multiple tasks, right? If I go to my GoldMine here and actually look into my open opportunities, I'm going to see there it is right there. There's my opportunity with multiple tasks. You have 80%. And on my 50%, my 50 evaluation positive. This is just what happened right here. If I go to history, I can even see it. That I should be able to see that. Oh, I didn't log it yet. So the change, if I do it out there, I guess I should correct myself. If I'm changing the status here, it doesn't seem to be logging it in history, but if I change it elsewhere, it will. But the bottom line is what I'm looking at is here's my target close by. I can edit it. I can change the close by date to say, you know what, it's actually going to be, you know, way up here instead. And I can actually just type in here, I think. December. There we go. Let's change it to 2015. Now we'll do November, and then we say the 11th, and now we've got that and say OK. So what I've just done is if I actually go and refresh this, now you see November 11th, 2015. This is my point here. I'm just messing with test data, but my point here is this is real-time data is what we're looking at, right? Real-time. Now I have my activities. Shows me my activities for supervisor, but I can go look at me. There's my calendar for today, Zoho webinar, a few different things going on. I have a Salesforce webinar today. Here's my other tasks that are in here. The untimed events are down below. But what I really like about this, just to focus on a couple points that I like, if I do a search for Chris again, I can actually go right here and see there's Chris, and I can actually just complete something. I can just go like this. I'm going to complete right from here. I'm going to complete a next action. I'm going to say the reference is testing from mobile search list. And I'm going to put in my result code, whatever I want in there. These are from my list itself. Here's a code, and this would be like a, you know, file closed, whatever I want to do. And I just say done. And now if I go look at Chris, right click here, go to contact. Okay. Should be able to do this. All right, let's go. Let's try it this way. Go here. This one, I know it's the email. If I look into the history, I've actually got it right there. There's my FC, busy, testing for mobile search list, etc., was done today, 10/21, 11:13 a.m. So what does this mean? It means that from here, I can have my people on the road look up some things, create some history, forecast if you're doing forecasts, right? Actually create the forecasted sale. Or you can even schedule an action item. So I can schedule a call for myself or someone else and do this, right? So you can do that, and it's all linked in through. I don't have to go to the record to do it, okay? So I really like this piece. Now, if I was to jump to the phone, this is the mobile piece here. And again, if there's any questions, please use the Q&A section on the right of your screen that will actually show you, you know, where things are, and you can actually write to me directly for the questions, and I'll get them. So if I do this here, I'm going to actually shrink my browser a little bit. You're going to see GoldMine behind it, and that's all right. Basically, why am I shrinking my browser? Because this is what it is on your phone. Okay. When I demo this, I always do it this way because I'm going to log in as master again. Here is what it would look like on your phone. So if I was to shrink everything, you're going to see this is just a phone browser. I mean, it's that small. If I do my contacts, I can do all contacts. I can search for Chris, right? And I've got a couple in there. The one I was just looking at was Chris Lavelle. Let's hope it's this one. Yes, it is because of the email address. I can add history right away. Right? I could say testing from GM Mobile instead, right? And I can scroll down here. That's what I did. There it is. And I can go regarding is fine. But I can do this and say, this is what I want. I want to do my notes, which would be up top here. And I say, let's say testing only. And this is my notes from my phone. I had someone ask me the other day, can we use voice recognition on the phone to do it? Of course you can. If any place that you can type inside your phone allows you to do, it allows you to do the voice recognition with the microphone or whatever it is, you can obviously fill in history right here and there. So that actually works out really well for certain people. Okay. The other thing that I can do is I can write emails from the phone. I cannot do this from the web version, the free one. I can only do this from the pay version, which again is mobile. But I can change my signature template. I can put a subject here, and I can actually send out to these folks from here. And I can add people and all that kind of stuff, right? So I can look for users or contacts, right? That type of thing. Now, I do have some issues here, like every once in a while you'll get this where you're going to get all messed up. And actually you can tell here, my system is crapping out on me, pardon the French, because I'm on a browser and not on my phone. So that's what it is now. So let me just start it over again. Okay. I have to do this sometime in the browser. It's not a reflection of the product on a phone. It's a reflection of me not being able to demo it on my phone, on my computer for you right now, right? So if I could do a screen share on my phone, I'd do it in a second, right? So if I do this here, okay, there's my 4. Remember, those are the 4 that are screwy. If I go over here and do it, here's the 4 as well. Actually, there's 3. Trying to think which one this one is. So I've got a duplicate out here, and this one right here is just that. Yeah, sort of fine. This is actually working out. And there's my 3. Okay, 1 is a company, 2 does, or 2 have companies, 1 doesn't, right? And that's okay. I was looking at the one with the email address. But if I go look now at my history, I should see in here that 1, but I believe it crashed on me. Oh, there it is. It actually did it 3 times. Testing only, this is my notes for my phone. It did it 3 times because I think I hit the button 3 times. I think I hit done. So I do have an issue here. Not a big deal. I can clean this up for you so you can see it. But this is what we'd be looking at. Like, these are the notes from my phone. Testing from GM Mobile. There's my date. There is no time, so therefore it doesn't sort because the time's not filling in right away. But the mobile is something that, others will ask me and they'll say, well, why would I bother doing this if I have it, on my terminal server or something like that? And it's true. I mean, to me, it's just multiple clicks. But if I'm always talking about user adoption, and my biggest issue that I have with sales folks is getting them to work in the field and be able to log things quickly. Well, this is huge because I can do all contacts and I can search for Elk Environmental, right? And I'm going to get a bunch. Okay, again, there's Kyle, Matt. Okay, so there's Matt. Well, if I look up Matt, number 1, I can dial right from here if I'm on my phone. I can click this and it goes right there. I can also add history right away. And that, as I always tell people, if you've been in one of my trainings before, I always tell people that 80% of the way getting there is just making sure your people are logging history. If we're logging history in GoldMine, completing calls, what happened, logging emails, you're more than halfway there to using the system right. Scheduling out and getting people what's in the pending and what's going forward, that's obviously a big plus. But if I can at least get people to do what is coming, what is out there and what's been done, so everyone's on the same page of what's going on with the existing clients, well, that's half the battle, isn't it? But my biggest challenge is that I have salespeople that are out in the field and they have to do this stuff. So what they do is they come home at night, 6 o'clock, after dinner, whatever, they log in and they start logging in their calls. And it's very it's short on information because they're tired. They've been out on the road all day. They don't want to do it. Maybe they do it the next day. My biggest issue is when I have clients that they do it on Fridays. Friday morning, they log in everything from the last 5 days. If I give them this ability right here, they can do it from their sanctity of their car, the privacy of their car, wherever they are, waiting for their next appointment, the waiting room, wherever we are, we can log in. You've got a data plan on your phone, so therefore you're doing this, and you can log in and get it done. So this is where it's really worth it. The pricing of this product is $200 per user. It's a one-time buy, and that's what it is. Okay. So at this point, I know the name of the hangout is What's New with GoldMine, and in my world, what's new? The newest items are the integration with your mobile, your mobile device. So your website delivery is what it is. You've got GoldMine Web, you've got GoldMine Mobile for phones, GoldMine Web for everything else, larger screen devices, including laptops. We also have the constant contact integration that's come out in the last couple versions. I kind of go over that every once in a while. But essentially, that's about it for right now. Next week is our tips webinar. That will be reflective of our GoldMine tips that were in our last newsletter. If you're not getting those, please go to the Marks Group website, marksgroup.net, marksgroup.net. Check out our blog, sign up for the other events, whatever we have. Look forward to seeing you at the next hangout, the next webinar. Okay. The tips webinar we don't do in hangout format right now. We actually do it as a dial-in, so it's a little more interactive. Justin runs those. So I hope you all have a great day, and thanks for joining in at this point. This video will be available on YouTube later if you want to look for it. You can look for the Marks Group in our website. Our YouTube page that has all of our videos, this one as well as past videos. Okay, and that's it. Have a good day. Thanks for joining in, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.